If you ride a motorcycle, these 5 portable tire inflators can help you deal with low tire pressure without carrying a bulky compressor. I'm looking at what matters to you on the road: compact size, battery life, inflation speed, and whether it can fit in a saddlebag or tailbag. One is much smaller than you'd expect, but still surprisingly quick. Links are in the description. Subscribe, because your motorcycle has enough luggage problems already. At number 5, the Inflator hike can bring a low motorcycle tire back to pressure without touching the bike's battery. But there is a limit that becomes obvious when the tire is really low. That makes it interesting for riders who want a cordless tire pump sitting inside a saddlebag or tailbag instead of carrying a larger 12-volt compressor. During testing, I found the Inflator hike most useful for small pressure corrections. A few PSI missing from a motorcycle tire is exactly where a compact electric inflator earns its space. The cordless design also makes it easier to reach the valve, and the digital display lets you watch the pressure climb instead of guessing. However, the small body tells you what this pump is really built for. A badly deflated motorcycle tire takes much longer, and continuous pumping puts more heat into the motor and drains the battery faster. That is the trade-off with nearly every pocket-sized tire inflator. I also prefer checking the final pressure with a separate tire pressure gauge when accuracy matters. So, the Inflator hike stands out for compact roadside tire inflation, not brute force speed. It gives you an emergency air source that can actually fit alongside your motorcycle repair kit. Coming in at number 4, the Fantic X8 Apex is where a portable motorcycle tire inflator starts behaving more like a proper compressor. And the reason is hiding in its battery and airflow. It has a 7,800 mAh battery, 150 psi maximum pressure, and a dedicated motorcycle mode, while Fantic lists up to 40 minutes of continuous runtime. In real motorcycle use, that extra capacity matters. Instead of treating the pump as a quick emergency gadget, you can use it for more demanding pressure changes. That becomes especially useful after riding off-road, where tire pressures may be deliberately lowered and then brought back up for pavement. The automatic shutoff is another feature I like. Set the target PSI, start the compressor, and it stops when the pressure is reached. That saves you from standing beside the wheel watching the display. Now for the catch. This is portable, but it is not tiny. At roughly 1.74 pounds, it takes noticeably more room than pocket-size inflators. So its strength is different from the Inflator hike. The X8 Apex gives up some storage convenience to deliver more battery capacity and stronger roadside inflation performance. Now at number 3, the Airmoto is the kind of motorcycle tire pump that disappears into your luggage until the exact moment a low tire makes it useful. Its biggest advantage is not raw compressor power, it is the small footprint. That matters on a motorcycle, where every bit of saddlebag and underseat space gets fought over by tools, plugs, gloves, and other riding gear. In use, I like the simple setup. Connect the hose, select the pressure, and let the automatic shutoff handle the target. For a normal tire pressure top-up, that is exactly the sort of operation I want from a portable inflator. But there is an important caveat with these ultra-compact pumps: speed drops when the pressure difference gets large. A motorcycle tire that has only lost a few PSI is one thing. Trying to refill a nearly flat tire is a much bigger job, and battery-powered mini compressors are not going to behave like a shop compressor. That is why the Airmoto's real strength is emergency portability. It takes up little space, does not need the motorcycle running, and gives you an electric alternative to a hand pump when tire pressure drops during a ride. Sitting at number 2, the Astro AI L7 can top up a motorcycle tire in around a minute and a half, but what I noticed most was how little space it takes for that performance. Astro AI lists the L7 at 150 psi, 17 LSOR minutes airflow, a 4,000 mAh battery, and about 1.17 pounds. It is also officially listed for cars, motorcycles, bikes, and balls. The L7 feels more substantial than the tiny pocket pumps, without becoming annoying to carry. The digital display is easy to read, and the automatic shutoff is useful when setting a motorcycle tire to a specific cold pressure. Another detail I like is the cordless design. There is no 12-volt lead to route around the motorcycle, which makes a roadside pressure check much cleaner. Still, 17-liter is not a huge airflow. The L7 is much better at correcting tire pressure than doing repeated full inflations. And the 80 dB noise rating means this is definitely not a silent little gadget. For me, that balance is what makes the L7 interesting. Compact enough for motorcycle luggage, but still fast enough that a simple low-pressure problem doesn't turn into a 10-minute roadside job. And at number 1, the Fantic X9 Pro does something the smaller motorcycle inflators struggle with. It stays genuinely compact while still giving you dedicated motorcycle inflation control and very quick top-ups. It weighs just 0.96 pounds, has a 150 psi maximum, a built-in digital pressure gauge, automatic shutoff, and a specific motorcycle preset. This is the one that makes the most sense to me when carry anywhere size is the main goal. The hose is built into the body, and there is storage for the accessories, so you are not carrying a separate pile of parts in your motorcycle luggage. The interesting part is the motorcycle performance. Fantic rates the X9 Pro at about 27 seconds to take a motorcycle tire from 28 to 35 psi in its published testing. Real-world time will change with tire size, starting pressure, temperature, and battery level, so I would not treat that number as a guarantee. The main weakness is battery capacity. With about 23 minutes of continuous runtime, it is not the pump I would pick for repeated heavy inflation jobs. But for the actual purpose here, a small motorcycle tire inflator that can stay in your luggage and quickly fix low tire pressure, the X9 Pro gets the balance right.